All right, round two. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, yo, Rocky, you gotta get back in there, all right? Let's see what's happening now. Doing the live, all right? So, yeah, we're gonna join this again, see what's happening. And got my notes, got my paper, and I'm gonna have some friends joining me. So you'll see some other people on here soon. If you're in the Phoenix area, I'll be at Stir Crazy. Stir Crazy! I'll be there very soon. And you can see me January 31st, February 1st, Stir Crazy in Arizona. And
Well, Daniel Lobell. Let's see if this works this time. Hello, Daniel. Go live with Daniel. Yes.
All right, we did it.
How are you, pal?
Yours looks a lot better than mine for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with my camera here. Let me see if it's just smudging.
Oh, it looks pretty good to me, though. I could see you.
Oh, I'm backlit pretty bad. Let me see if I can do this.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and the camera looks a little close.
yeah, the camera's okay. Let's pull the camera back.
Oh, you
Let
got
me put
dark.
the light on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
This is the realness.
Thank you. Hey, Chuck Goldsmith. Happy New Year to you too, pal.
Okay,
Yeah.
how about that? You know, it almost looks like a showbiz stage curtain, but it's just my curtains.
Dude, that looks great.
Right?
That looks really good. Oh, those are nice curtains. Yeah.
How
It's
you
good. I should
doing?
do that. I just have a stucco wall behind me. Sometimes I'll have like holiday decorations, and I'm like, people. It looks weird. Like I'll have like one time I had, I think a reindeer or something. And it looked weird because it looked like I had two like antlers behind me. It's like, you know,
Yeah, you probably look good as a reindeer, though.
yeah, I got the red nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The reindeers seem like the most undersold part of the whole Santa story because they're doing all the bulk of the work. They have to fly. Not even sure why they need legs. I guess for the landings, but
That is true.
but
Yeah,
if they
it's
were
funny.
seals, it could have been seals.
I know. It's funny. I grew up in California, in Central California, and we didn't have snow, but the closest thing we had was fog. So it kind of looks like snow in a sense because it's cold outside. You go out and you can't really see, and it's all white.
Yeah,
And so I really like that part of of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the part where it's like, then one foggy Christmas Eve. I'm like, oh
yeah,
yeah, I can relate to that. But all the other Christmas songs where they talk about snow and whatnot and making a snowman, I couldn't really relate to it,
right. But you like the idea that there were lights in the fog.
Exactly. Like, yeah, yeah, man. I gotta tell you, when I was about 10 years old, I went through this period of like I don't want to say I was a bad kid, but I could see myself doing like things that weren't necessarily good.
Yeah,
And luckily I changed my life. I was like, didn't want to do it. But I remember one of the things we used to do is there was uh it was called Arthur's Toy Store, and then it closed down, and then it became a grocery store, and we missed the toy store. So we would, in the fog, we would take like acorns and rocks, and we'd throw it at the windows, and then run away and disappear into the fog. And it was kind of fun as a kid, like we're doing this thing, and then we're running, and then it was fun until we got caught, and then the police were called, and then you're like, oh damn, this isn't fun anymore. And then that's when I was like, okay, I don't want to be doing mischief, and who knows what that would have led to. I don't think you never
that's
know,
when the fog in your head cleared and you saw the way.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, it's very cinematic. The idea that you guys are running off into the fog. I mean, that's kind of a pretty nice picture.
yeah. We were I remember we were like, let's start a gang, and we called ourselves the Poison Boys.
The Poison Boys. That's a good name.
Yeah, thank you. That was I was probably better at naming the gangs than actually being in one. But yeah, there was just three of us. It was like three of us.
When I lived in Brooklyn, I lived across the hall from a gang, and initially their name was called Not Ready to Die. It was NRD, Not Ready to Die, and then they changed their name to like RDN, like Ready to Die Now. And I'm like, oh no, it's getting worse. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
I wonder what happened. One of them reached adulthood, and they're like, you know what? Paying my own bills. This is crap.
It's like That's enough. I've had it. The system, the bureaucracy. That's how they talk in gangs. It's almost like Gilbert. The bureaucracy is killing me. I can't take it anymore. Anyway,
You
I'm
should write.
ready.
That's funny.
What?
I'm gonna write that down because I think you should do that. The gangs that live. And have you done a bit on it yet?
No.
That's funny. I'm gonna write. Yeah.
We weren't ready to die, but now.
Yeah. Now that we have to pay our own rent, fill up our own gas tanks.
Too much responsibility. It's not a bad Gilbert, right? It could
No,
use
it's pretty
work, but
good.
it's
Yeah. That's.
I got to know him a little bit,
Oh
and
wow.
he was one of the funniest. It's like saying the obvious thing, but he was like one of the funniest people who ever lived. He was.
That's cool. I got to meet him once. We did it. We both had the same agent, and I flew out to, I want to say Delaware or Rhode Island. It was one of the smaller states, and I did 2 shows with them. And I remember hanging out with them a little bit in the hotel, in the lobby, and he was really nice. And we took some photos, and it was great. I wish I would have. I didn't really know him that well, but I got to know him just through his podcast. Man, I wish that guy. I love that guy, man. And that was one of my favorite
Did you ever
podcasts.
hear my episode?
No, I got to hear your
I'm on that
episode. I'm gonna go
podcast. Yeah.
back and listen to it. By the
Yeah.
way, tell the people about your podcast. I love your podcast.
Darren, you were our first guest ever. We started at the top and we've worked our way down. But
Yeah, right.
but
Yeah.
hopefully you'll be back on soon. But we do a podcast, me and Mark Schiff. It's called We Think It's Funny, or We Think It's Funny.
Yeah.
So it's been going good. And what else should I say about it?
It's great. You guys have great. I don't even think it's about the guests because just whoever you guys get in there with, it's you guys are funny. Funny things happen. You guys talk about funny things, and then they'll be like, you guys will choose like 4 or 5 news stories, or depending how much time you have left, and the news stories are usually pretty light, like nothing too crazy, and it's just I love the banter you guys have, and it's a feel good podcast. If people are looking for a podcast to put in the mix, go check out.
It's not we don't pick political stories. We try to like keep it apolitical and just we look for the funny and weird stories because we like guys like Johnny Carson who is for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring my son on the podcast. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. In the meantime, I want to say, everybody, thank you for tuning in right now, checking this out. I've been wanting to do more lives with other friends, other comics, and Danny's a good one. So
he's not ready yet. I thought he was waking up, but he's still sleeping.
Oh,
but I've got a little son, a little sunny boy, a little sunny boy. He's sleeping right now, but he's a good little sunny boy.
I have one son, and he's 17. And tell everybody how many you have. I think you have 3 kids.
Two girls and a boy. Thank God, they're lovely little lassies and lad, and just love being a dad, man. It's been the most fun thing I've ever done, and I didn't even want to do it because I'm an idiot. I didn't want to get married, and that's been great, and I didn't want to have kids, and that's been great. So I've learned to trust that my instincts are wrong. So
yeah, it's great, right? I remember thinking I was 20. I think we got married when I was 28. I was 28.
He is up now. Sorry.
Oh, he's up. Okay.
Yeah. He's up. He's up. Okay. All right.
What's up, guys? I like my women like I like my. Give me a word. Let's go. I like my women like I like my. If you got a word.
How about baby?
Hey, here we go. Wow.
There we go. This is my little boy.
Oh my goodness.
There he is.
Wow.
Hey.
Dude. How old is
like me without the beard, right?
How old is your oldest?
She's 5.
5. Okay, so they're all little. You can still pick them all up, and that's amazing.
Little. Yeah, the Rugrats. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I mean, every age is good, but it is nice when I look back and I'm like, oh, I remember when I was able to like do what you're doing, like just kind of put them there and and then even when you could still pick them up, and then one day, you know, God willing, it's like they're going to be as tall as you, maybe even taller. It's weird, man.
Yeah,
Like it's a trip.
probably
It's
taller.
faster than you. Like that little boy you're holding right now. There's going to be a day
Yeah.
where you can, or he's going to walk faster than you and run faster than you.
Yeah, probably when he's like 2 more months old.
Yeah,
Somebody wrote he's so cute. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, no, they're already faster than me. It doesn't take much. I'm a pretty heavy guy. So being faster than me, it's not a big achievement. But I mean, I love this stage. I love them all, you know.
yeah,
They're so warm when they're little that when
yeah,
you lay with them in bed, you just don't want to get up. It's the it's like the most it's like a drug.
yeah,
It's hard. So like if I have a spot and I have to go to the comedy club and I'm laying and he's on me like this, like a warm water bottle,
yeah,
it's almost like you have to fight your natural instincts to leave because it's like built into our DNA as a parent to be
yeah,
like
yeah.
sleeping in that pile with the kids, and then
Yeah.
you're like, I gotta go do the unnatural and go tell jokes now
In
to
front of
dad.
strangers, and yeah,
Yeah. I always say like, you go tell comedians are like uh we go to a crowd largely comprised of sad people
yeah,
and they're like I need a sadder person to make me less sad. So
yeah,
I'm not sad, but
yeah.
I mean,
I know what you're
I'm
saying. Yes, sometimes.
generalizing. Yeah, I'm
Oh, by the way,
generalizing. A lot of comedians.
Eleanor Greenstreet says the baby smell is the best. The
Oh
baby
my
smell
God, yeah.
is the best, isn't it? There's like a certain, I don't know. I remember even, I don't know if it's like graham crackers or like that just like that little baby smell. Like, she's right. There's
They
like
should
a,
have that as one of the trees that you could put in your car. Those
yeah,
air freshener trees?
yeah.
Newborn baby smell. Like new car smell.
Then you get into a
New baby.
rental car. You're like, is there a baby in here? What? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Then you're like always checking the back before you get out. You're like, no, it's that new baby smell air freshener I put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do? Have you been to any? Did you guys do like? I remember a lot of stuff we would do too. Is like during Halloween, we go to like the pumpkin patches. Do you guys do any of that stuff, like the hay rides, the
I
pumpkin patches?
love that. That I used to do before I had kids. Something about the fall. I just love the fall. I love the pumpkin patches. You have a thing in your act where you're like, if you love pumpkin spice latte,
Oh yeah,
basic,
perfect.
yeah. And then
Yeah,
when I hear you do that, I'm like, well, I'm basic then. I love the pumpkin spice lattes, and
I
I
know.
like, you say, oh, if you make a wish at 11:11, and then I just left the club and I looked at my phone. It was 11:11, and I texted it to you.
I gotta post that. That was perfect.
Yeah.
11:11. I know. I'm always trying to write down those little things for that basic, and it's and whenever I think of one, I'm like, that's perfect, and like last night I don't know, I was on stage performing. I looked down and I knew I was going to use it, like, but I held it in my brain for about 5 minutes until I did the basic bit. And there was a lady in the front row, and I'm like, if you like drinking White Claw with a straw, basic. And the whole table was like, yeah, like, because I think that's like a popular drink that women drink is White Claw, and then the fact that she had a straw, I don't know, it's so
and it
specific.
and
But
it rhymes, which doesn't hurt.
oh, you're right. I'm gonna
You
write
like
that
White
down actually.
Claw with the straw.
Basic.
But. I like when you do the but. There was one
Basic.
basic. One
Do you have
one
a?
thing.
Oh,
What
go
were
ahead.
you gonna? Were you gonna ask me about beatboxing?
No, I was gonna ask you. Do you have a pet that has a person's name?
That's funny because that's what I was about to bring
Oh,
up. So no, I don't. But um, well, yeah, I do, I guess. Um, we have a tortoise that my wife named after the Royal Tenenbaums. So, but
nice.
so his name is Tenenbaum. But um, I was going to bring up that you do that thing about the pet. You have a pet that's named after a person name. And I was at the Improv the other night watching your set, and there's this woman. You say you do that joke. If you have a pet with a person's name, basic. And then you turn to the random woman in the crowd. You go, "You have a pet? Yeah. What's the pet's name?" And it's like One Eye Lily.
Yeah.
And then you did this so masterfully. You held the beat for just enough time that people were wondering, "What's he gonna do?" Like we're everyone's ready for you to say basic,
Yeah.
but you don't do it. And you held the moment for so long to build that tension,
Yeah.
and then you hit him with basic, and it just brought the room down.